Okay, yay Miko. Yay, crit. So this team is Yai Miko Overload with Raiden, Xiangling Bennett. I'm not really sure how good this team is, but I really like the rotation. I think the rotation is really smooth. In particular, setting up Yai's turrets at the start and detonating them a bit later in the rotation, I think is best for her. I think it maximizes the uptime of her turrets. There's been a lot of talk of like Yai's strength and if she is meta or not, or if she's a side grade or an upgrade to official, etc. We'll see. I am enjoying my time with her. But I don't know if I would recommend her pulling for her. It always depends in Genshin. Second E in order to get Xiangling ult. I think this is when I realized that Xiangling was a bit under on energy recharge. I think she needs like 10 to 20-ish more. Just for consistency. So yeah, just a minute and a half. This is not one continuous run. I will be changing teams. So on the second side is Sucrose Taser, really strong 4-star team. What I like about this team, one of the things I like about this team is there's no fixed rotation. You just have to make sure that Oz is active and both Beidou ult and Xingqiu ult are active. And then when you have free time, you just auto attack with Sucrose. What I don't like is the camera. Whenever you ult or burst, the camera zooms in, and I don't like it when it's this zoomed in because I see less of the enemies and the field. So I have to constantly zoom out with the mouse wheel. During this phase, it's just a shield phase, so damage doesn't matter as much. It's more how much of the correct element you can apply, which is why this team can't handle the second chamber with the heralds because it's a hydro shield. Second chamber, is there anything to say about the Primal Bishop? So he takes reduced damage on the first 10 seconds or so. Unfortunately, he pushes me out here and out the side of the Bennett circle, but it was almost out anyway. I pick up Crystal here, Crystallized Shield, in order to trigger the backlash from the breath attack. So you don't need any dedicated shielder. The Bishop has Geo attacks, and you can be in Bennett's burst, which applies pyro to yourself, and then you can get hit by a Geo attack from the Primal Bishop, and then it will create a crystallized shield, which you can get in order to cause the backlash of the breath attack. He also has some pyro attacks, so you can use that instead of Bennett's burst. So this team, don't worry about this team. I think at this point, this is the last chamber that I did. It's I was tired, maybe. This is not the best. In hindsight, Chi-Chi is not the best pick. I would have preferred probably Diona for higher cryo application. This side does not require a lot of DPS. As I said with the shields, it just requires as much elemental application of the correct damage. This being cryo is the element to break the hydro shield. Just short. I think it's around here where I have absolutely no energy, and now I'm regretting bringing Chi-Chi. And the spinny attack is Ganyu's Bane. I think I barely squeeze in the time. It's, I also because Shangling and Raiden are both polearm users. I don't have Favonius. I don't have a Favonius lance for Rosaria and this side. I did recently get a 6 Favonius lance. Oh, did you see that? Did you see that? It went right through him, the arrow. That was weird. And here, for the last chamber, the teams are switched. Taser is on the first half. And Raiden, Yai's Overload team will be on the second half for Mago Kenki. Oh yeah, and I took healing. Which is interesting. Oh, another thing about this team is both Beido's ult and Xingqiu's ult provide a lot of damage reduction. So even though you don't have a healer on this team, you are actually very tanky. As long as both Beido and Xingqiu's ult are active. It's like 70 or 80%. It's pretty big. Use the ball to counter. One of the things I don't like about fighting these two is they can pin you down on a wall, and because their collision boxes are so big, it can be hard to see what's going on. Oh, here, Xingqiu almost healing was optimal. Healing was optimal. Yeah, Xingqiu's almost dead. And the stagger from Electrocharge is actually pretty useful here. And finally, Yai Overload versus Mago Kenki. I have mixed feelings about Mago Kenki. He is kind of a cool fight, but sometimes his teleports are feel a bit RNG. I think his side teleport is the worst. And face, yeah. So I should have stopped attacking here because you can't go below 70% until he does that attack and goes into his second phase where he has the cryo shadow. Oh, here he teleports back. I should have anticipated. This is not the teleport that I was saying was bad. This is pretty consistent. This one, I should have anticipated it. And I could have delayed Bennett's ult. Here, another energy problem for Shangling. Just shy of it. So, no, it's not this one. He sometimes dashes to the side when he's cornered. Not here. It's this teleport, which I find a bit inconsistent, and almost didn't make it. Anyway, here are the builds. This was made by Shinshin Moe, which is a website where you can make infographics like this. And yeah, I would categorize my artifact set as just good enough to 36 star the Abyss. Oh, and we get to Chi-Chi. Wait for Chi-Chi. I think my Beidou has a bit over what I want from her. She has an energy recharge stance, but I don't think I have an attack stance in the emblem set, so that's why she's on ER. I can't really explain. I just didn't check her artifacts. There's nothing to explain.